Hey, I hope you're all doing well and staying dry. This is Akihabara in Tokyo, Japan. This may not surprise you to tell you how colorful this place is. So I absolutely love this here. If you're into anime, if you're a photographer, if you're into food, you'll love the choices here. And if you want some desserts, oh yeah, they got you covered. Oh, and did I mention all of the anime shops that they've got in Akihabara? Yeah, I hope you brought plenty of carry-on baggage space. Or maybe you just want to kick back and enjoy a cup of tea. Feel free to nerd out at one of their unique maid cafes. And if electronics or photography is more your thing, oh yeah, Akihabara's got you covered. Let me tell you why they call this the Electric Town. It's so hard to describe my first impression after getting off the train because it was so much. Like, I just had all these colors, lights, people. I mean, this place was popping off. And of course, the day that I would leave my umbrella in the hotel, it was raining, but it's all good. So my first objective to settle in was just to find a warm place and maybe satisfy my cravings of something warm, tasty that happens to look like a fish. One thing you should know about me is I love waffles, as should everybody. And these taiyaki satisfies that craving with that flaky pastry and then mixed inside with that creaminess, and I got a red bean paste inside. Warm, perfect on a cold day. It may have been cold, and yes, it was definitely raining, but that did not stop any of these Japanese girls from still working hard and inviting guests over to these many maid bars and maid cafes that you'll see scattered around Akihabara, where you can enjoy, being indoors, and then they'll serve you food or drinks. Now, if you ask me, did I partake in one of these maid cafes? Well, it was between that or walking outside in the rain some more. And well, you could figure out that that was not a very hard decision for me to make. Oh yeah, if I'm in Japan, I've got to try out an anime cafe. I went to the at-home cafe, where all the prices are listed outside so you know exactly what you're paying for, you know what food they offer, which is decent, but I'll admit, you're not really going there for the food. You're actually going there for the environments, again, those anime vibes, the kind of cool art they do on the food, as well as some other little perks and surprises that I'm not going to spoil for you, but it is actually very family oriented, so I think anyone would enjoy this if you want something unique to do in Japan. And for all my cat lovers out there, oh yeah, they didn't forget about you. They do have a Mocha Cat Cafe in Akihabara. After visiting the anime cafe, it is time to finally get myself an umbrella. Oh yes, that is a lot better. Now I can finally enjoy the views out here. This is the Kanda Shrine, and this had to be one of my favorite parts of Akihabara, and I think it's a hidden gem. It was peaceful being able to enjoy this area without that many other people here, and I only found out about this spot when I was interacting and speaking with one of the locals that live here. Getting to the Kanda Shrine is a very nice 15-minute walk maybe from Electric Town, and it's a great change of pace. Alright, back in the streets, now I'm dry. Let's explore some anime stores and maybe check out some of the arcades. One thing that surprised me is how you can virtually buy almost anything out of a vending machine here in Japan. And even in the alley, they are clean, reliable, I cannot say the same for those in the United States. It didn't stop there. Even on the subway platform, they have fully stocked, operational, clean vending machines. Like, this is a dream out here if this were the US. Yeah, some of the things you'll only find when traveling abroad. But hey, Genshin Impact. Now this game's going global. It's definitely big everywhere. So it's interesting, when I came back I realized that I didn't record very much of inside the arcades or the other places that I visited because I was actually just enjoying myself during this trip. But what I can do is I could shout out a few places here. So on the right side, you see Mr. Donut? That's one of the chains that you'll see in Japan, and they don't just serve donuts. Like, you can get full meals like fried rice, hot dogs. I thought the fried rice was good. And I even like this Sakura donut, which is like a little frosting they put on top. They also have this egg and curry donut, which I admit I wasn't crazy about this one, but I still had to try a savory donut. I mean, it's one of the things that are unique when you're visiting Japan. And speaking of unique to Japan, if I reverse this clip, look at this payphone. They actually do have payphones that are still alive and well in Tokyo, Japan. I actually love traveling in March. Things start blooming, and even though these aren't cherry blossoms, it doesn't mean that they aren't beautiful. There is so much beauty in Japan during the springtime. Getting to Akihabara is easy as you can choose between either the Tokyo Metro or the JR lines. And as with most of these Tokyo stations, they can be really big, so feel free to use those maps, and I always check to make sure that I'm exiting from the correct gates. Today, it's actually not raining, but of course now it's windy, but it still gives me another chance to explore Akihabara during the day and without having to worry about the rain. So now I can see some of the electronics that they have on display and for sale. So random, but so cool at the same time. But I'm not gonna ask any questions where any of this came from. Alright, I'll admit, it was dry, but it was still freaking cold. So I sought out the Starbucks right outside of the Akihabara Station. So there's this huge courtyard that's right outside of the station. But if you look up at this Atre 1 shopping mall, there is a Starbucks on the 4th level. And it's kind of cool. You can actually see the subway platform from the cafe. In addition to, you can see that old SEGA building there. And if I lived here in Japan, I would definitely come out here just to study. I mean, the views here are pretty unique. And as a tourist, of course, I was all about that too. And like all good things, this too must come to a close. It was time for me to head back to the train station to head to Shibuya, where my hotel was at. And hopefully I'm not alone in the sentiment that this is actually a really cool train station. I love the views, and I really like the jingles and sounds they play at these Tokyo train stations to let you know the trains are approaching and when it's time to board them. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support of this channel. I hope to see you all back for another video.